Fiverr stock has been trading at a relatively cheap valuation because of the huge risk from artificial intelligence. Investors were concerned that people would use AI instead of going to Fiverr's platform to hire gig economy workers. Now, I've been watching the stock closely ever since the launch of ChatGPT and the rising effectiveness of AI to see how its business is impacted. And surprisingly, it's having a positive impact. I'm going to share the details with you in this video and update my buy or sell rating on Fiverr stock, sharing with you my discounted cash flow valuation. Let's get right into it.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
So in Fiverr's second quarter 2025, they achieved 15% revenue growth, which is an acceleration from its previous quarterly revenue growth rates in the 4 to 6 quarters prior. And remember, the company has been increasing pricing, the fees that it charges on the platform. It brings together buyers of services and sellers of services and takes a fee for every transaction on the platform. That platform business model, as you might already know, is one of my favorite business models right now. It's one of the reasons why I have Uber rated as the best stock to buy, because Uber is essentially a very similar business model to Fiverr, bringing together two sides of a transaction and taking a fee for all the transactions on the platform. Fiverr's been increasing that fee that it charges, and despite the increase in fees, the company's revenue growth is accelerating. Adjusted EBITDA margin jumped to 20% as they continue to drive profitable growth with disciplined execution. And that's something the company started focusing on, I want to say around late 2022, where instead of just focusing on growth at all costs, the management team said, let's focus on more profitable customers, on customers that drive a good long-term value compared to the customer acquisition cost. And those decisions, those strategic changes are working well. The management team said their success in these efforts contributed to the acceleration in spend per buyer, which grew 10% year over year. So the amount that each buyer is spending on the platform is increasing, right? So these aren't the kind of things that most pessimists about Fiverr were expecting. They were expecting buyers on the platform to use AI a lot more often and use platforms like Fiverr less frequently because they can use AI to do a lot of the things perhaps they were hiring others to do on the Fiverr platform. That's not turning out to be the case. And remember, I highlighted that a few quarters ago when Fiverr's share price was crashing and it was down significantly, and I told everyone it was a great buying opportunity because I estimated a two-sided risk, similar to how I estimate a two-sided risk for Uber with the driverless car technology. It could go really badly, and it can still go really badly for Fiverr. These early positive results are not an indication that it's all clear and it's all smooth sailing from here. But it does highlight that it is a two-sided risk. At least that's what it highlights, these early results, is that artificial intelligence could be a very big positive for Fiverr, just as it could be a very big negative. But the share price reflects the fact that it could just be a negative. Fiverr's trading at some of the cheapest valuations that I've seen, and it's a strong growing business in the early stages of development with powerful tailwinds, and it's trading like a mature company with no growth expected, and it's because of that big risk from artificial intelligence that's getting priced into the valuation, right? So I want investors to take these situations and evaluate whether it's just a one-sided risk, whether it's only downside, or if there's also upside. And I believe with Fiverr that there's also upside with artificial intelligence, and there's early evidence of that. And similar with Uber, this isn't a video about Uber, but I'll highlight that driverless car technology, I think, is a similar situation. It can be a big upside for Uber, but it can also be a big downside. So the company's saying that there's growth across key verticals such as programming, technology, digital marketing, and video animation. The management team specifically pointed out how excited they are about how AI is positively impacting every dimension of their business, driving demand through AI related services, improving discovery and conversion for buyers and sellers on the marketplace, and unlocking operational efficiencies through AI agents across functions. So far, so good for Fiverr stock investors, as AI in its early days is a big positive for Fiverr's business. So I've had Fiverr stock rated as a buy all year long, as I felt that the downside has already been way overpriced into the valuation. In fact, the fair value I calculated for Fiverr, I updated this today, is $62 a share, and the current market price is only $25. So I feel this is a significantly undervalued growth stock that investors can add to their portfolios, but you have to acknowledge, you have to accept that it comes with a higher degree of risk because of those impacts from artificial intelligence. So that risk is still there, even though the early results have been positive. Doesn't mean that risk has just gone away or vanished. It's still there. So you're taking an above average risk when investing in fiber stock right now because of that significant downside. But I think the risk versus reward is very attractive for fiber stock investors at current market prices.
Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.